Hello and welcome back to the farm. Apologize about my hair. It's another windy day in Oklahoma, but I just got done doing a deep dive into the beehive, meaning I went for both boxes. Now, as a first-year beekeeper, you got through the majority of the winter and it's looking good, but you don't know what to do after this because for some reason your mentor disappeared or is super busy or whatever. So what you need to start worrying about is the presence of a laying queen. Is there brood developing? Is there pollen coming in? And do they still have food stores? Those are the 4 things you need to worry about right now. And you see this being reflected when I do a quick cap of the inspection. And if you're worrying if you don't have any pollen or nectar coming in, you can do your sugar feedings in liquid form, but just be careful when it's 1-to-1. They're going to want to draw out some wax, so they're going to want to lay brood, so they still need the protein, which is the pollen. Second thing, start worrying about the queen excluders if you want to do your honey supers, because I have one on right there, which is the yellow paint trim. That's going to keep the queen out of your supers, so if you do harvesting, you're not going to harvest brood or eggs, which makes it real messy. Also, make sure you paint any of your equipment that you plan on using, which you see way over there. Now, for the unrelated things, sorry about the angles. Those of you who bought packages, online packages, realized looking down the barrel of a 3-week delay because they got hit so hard in the south. So this hive's not going to start into May. And there's a possibility I could have a swarm go into there, and I'm perfectly fine with that. But I don't want to have a swarm coming out of that box, so I'm going to do what I can to ease up the desire or the urge to start going, hey, we're running a room, we want to swarm. Also, I would start worrying about your flowers that you plan the bees to use. Native flowers are still the #1 source to go to. For example, this crabapple tree, you see it sitting ready to bloom. That's what they need. It's still going to be beneficial for other pollinators. And depending on your area, in my case, we go into a dearth period in July. This means there's no flowers blooming. So how do we keep the bees alive besides artificially feeding sugar to them? Well, you're looking at things like Joe's pieweed. So again, goldenrod or hues for late blooming plants from July to October. You can see I managed to get some germination off this tray using the method that I devised back in January, where I took a hydroponic insert, even though it's a clear piece of plastic, had holes drilled into it to vent the heat out of the unit but keep it warm enough where it didn't freeze. Meaning, to put it in more simple terms, this got the maximum amount of chill exposure it needed, and I have a decent return rate in germination. Sure, it's not great, but it's better than what I was suspecting. Same thing with the St. John's wort. Needed the 60 hours of exposure, about the 1,500 hours of exposure, or 60 days, to sub 40-degree weather. Now the compass plants didn't do too well. It's weird. They are in the counties that are around Tulsa County, but not in Tulsa County. It's the darndest thing to me, but I managed to get a few. So that method works. And I would also look at, see if you have a master gardeners, see if they're doing any plant cells. That's another way to get some native flowers. Or if you have a nursery that's around you that has native flowers, is another option. But you can see the greenery starting to return, as you see with the trees. But that's what you need to start worrying about for the bees. Gardens, not so much. This has been Tulsa Urban Farmer, and I'll catch you in the next video. See if my smoker didn't go out on me. Almost. Now you notice the placement of my smoker is going right over the beehive and into me. That's doing is disrupting them. To make it where they're not going to be aggressive with me. This is why I'm in my PPE. Hey, welcome back to the farm. Hey, we're doing that deep dive that I've been meaning to get to, and I scraped all the sugar off. I can see plenty of bees in here. What I'm doing is smoking them up, keep them away from my head, and disrupt any found ones. So now, we're gonna see what we got going on here. We got some borer comb here. I didn't do that deep of a dive last year. Because I didn't want to disrupt the bees too much. Here's some more borer comb. You see how this is a nicely drawn frame right here? It's empty, but still drawn. That's the reason why population growth is very rapid this time of year. Perlace these two together. So you got some bees cleaning the bottom of this one. You see right there. You got some borer comb on here. And there's a way we can get around that. This is what happens when we have too much space. It gets thrown out a little more. We can correct that really easy. And I plan on running 9 frames in this right here. Lots of rotation flights going on right now. Oh boy, this is a heavy frame. Oh boy, yeah, this is a heavy frame. See if I don't drop this, because it'd be bad for the bees. Now we got some cap honey here. We got some more comb on this. And part of that was this frame. It's drawn sideways. Heavy purplish in this one. They did not like that one bit. Sorry, which side? Right, I have a big brush in here. Do just brush them off here. Comb off. Make sure we don't squash any bees. Yeah, I apologize if I'm going slow. I like to go straight and slow with this. Put you in the box. And my smoker just went out. That's the problem when you this right here. Now it's starting to light up again. Okay, smoker's back going. The smokers can be very temperamental until you learn how to work them. heavy. I mean, look at this frame. Now you got some sideways comb going on here, and some boar comb. These are older frames anyway, so they're naturally stuck together. Jesus Christ, what's going on here? Burr comb, and a lot of it is another comb with honey. If you get it in, but I got boar comb on this. A lot of boar comb down here. Sideways honey. You can just smash it in if you want to do that. You see how that was nicely drawn out? And I'll rearrange these. Drawn out. What that means is the wax has been drawn, as you see right here. You see some capped honey. So they're getting some brie bread. They're drawing this one out. So it's good to have some honey stores at the end of the winter. But that is not the important bit right now. So this box is replace it with the one. And I'm going to put these sideways. Now we're going to scrape all this boar comb off. Oh yeah, that'll get the man now. I got quite a few flying around my head right now. said, I like to take my time in here, so I don't need to be quick because I don't have any robbing going on. Just gonna clean up the bark comb first. Okay, not take out any bees in the process. I'm not talking as much as I should be. Smoker has died. That's a problem. See if I pull this out without pulling out this second plank. Heavily purpleized. There we go. Nicely drawn out frame. See right here, you got a little capped honey. Almost full drawn. More bark comb. See a lot of it down there. I don't know if you can see the bees here. I'm trying to tip it down here, but that's a nice population going on. What we want to do is scrape this bark comb off right here. Without trying to knock it on the ground, because that can lead to a lot of secondary pests you might not want. And again, population ties into it so much. If you're wondering what I'm doing off camera, I have a little bucket I'm drawing this bark comb into. And I have a bee box, so I'm just sliding these in until I figure out what I want to do. Try not to squish any bees in the process. See some more dead bees down here. Well, I'll be right back. Let me get more smoke and fuel. notice I stepped away and the bees just went back to the regular duties. Smoke. Very good population here. You notice how this is that spur comb. So I'm trying to do this in a way that is not harmful to the bees. Without losing said frame either. May have just pinched the bee by mistake. Also, if you look at this little guy right there, you see a little bee pollen in there. Excuse me, pollen. Try to scrape this off as best we can without causing too much damage already. See how I have to really have to get the bellows going. You notice how this is going over, the smoke's going over the hive right there? They're getting a little aggravated. I still have to pull these frames out. See right here, Marjoram. But we got, this is a capped. It's okay, I'm gonna leave those there. I really want is this stuff gone. You may not be able to see the. Got some more here. We got more capped brood here. And we got some brood right in there. It's that little white larvae. What I'm looking for is queen cells right now. If I don't find any queen cells, I'm good. And if you're wondering what type of bees I have, these are the standard Italians. They're a little more gentler, but that's a more of a bred trait, if anything. Oops. They will tend to that. And I'm not finding a lot of dead bees in here, so that's a good thing. And they will purpose these frames down if they can. This is why you see me struggling. Sideways brood. You're wondering, this is purpurless. Normally do when I have stuff looking like that is I just flip it around, disrupt the pattern. They're forced to readapt. You could also scrape it in, but I'm not seeing queen cells in here at all. No queen cells at all. That's a good thing. I haven't seen the queen, but I'm not actually looking for her. Like I just hit a bee. Okay. So we do have a laying queen in here. You know, I haven't seen a queen. That's perfectly okay. So what we gotta do is take some of these bigger frames out here and put them in here. Gotta stimulate some growth up here. These are very widely drawn. See how wide these are drawn? So I may just leave these in the upper super. Now I think about it. Try not to they will adapt themselves. I'm not worried about the smoke as much as I was. What I'm doing here, and the bees will fix this. Okay. So no queen cells, good. No presence of swarming, very little brood, but I can see a laying queen. And I see a little bit of a waggle dance going on in here. Try not to kill any of the bees. What we're doing here is putting a 9 frame out on here, or try to as much as possible. But let me clean up this right here. Oops. Squish the bee. A lot of these are sideways drawn. What that means is oops, as I kill And I'm about ready to lose this guy. But they did not like that. See how I lost that one. Number. There we go. Okay. What I do with repeating patterns is I turn around. Make sure that I have enough here. Okay, and we're turning this into a 9 frame. And those brood up here. Where's my little tool at? How do I lose tools? How? Darnest thing. Oh, it's right here. Right in front of my face. And the reason why we're putting and I just crushed a bunch of bees. Okay, see, we do this without crushing anything. And those 9 frames in that top dots. Is that one. because of that one frame. But 9 frames, we're pretty good here.